Ever walk into a store, faced with two almost identical products,
Right.
and you're thinking, why on earth would I ever pick that one? That, my friend, is the value proposition whispering in your ear.
It really
It's
is.
not just some stuffy business jargon.
Right.
It's the secret sauce that makes us, well, choose one thing over another. And get this, today we are diving deep, deep, deep into the core of this whole concept, and our trusty guide is this Wikipedia article on, you guessed it, value proposition. Get ready to see those everyday choices in a whole new light.
You know what's fascinating about this?
What's that?
Even though as consumers we're constantly encountering these value propositions, the term itself is surprisingly recent.
Oh, really? I was going to ask, was this a thing like way back in the Stone Age? Did cavemen brag about having like the best value proposition for their clubs?
Not quite. The underlying concept, yeah, that might be timeless. But
Wow.
the actual term value proposition as we know it, that emerged in the business world in the late 1980s. McKinsey and Company, the big consulting firm, they used it in a paper back in 1988. And it kind of highlighted this shift from just focusing on the products themselves to actually understanding what customers truly value.
So it's not just about what you're selling, it's about showcasing why your thing is, the bee's knees.
Exactly. It's about, well, differentiation. Like imagine you're opening a coffee shop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not enough to just say, hey, we brew coffee. You got to answer that why you question for those potential
All right,
customers.
so let's play this out. So one coffee shop, they're all about the Instagrammable latte art, right?
Mhm.
And the other one, they boast strongest brew in town. Both are selling coffee, but their value propositions, they target totally different desires.
Precisely. One might appeal to those folks looking for like a trendy experience and the other to those, prioritizing that caffeine kick.
Yeah.
And that's just scratching the surface. The Wikipedia article, it outlines 5 common value propositions, and we can kind of think of them as like strategies that companies use to entice us.
5 strategies, okay? Lay them on me and hit me with some real-world examples because you know me, abstract concepts, and my brain does the Macarena.
Of course. So the first one is all about, drumroll please, premium quality, think luxury brands.
Okay.
They're selling an image of exclusivity, top-notch craftsmanship, you name it. And you pay a premium for that.
More for more. Right. Like I'm willing to shell out the extra cash for those handcrafted Italian leather boots because they just scream, hello, I have arrived. But I wouldn't pay that much for like a toothbrush.
Exactly. And then there's, the bold move of offering more for the same. Think of a new smartphone brand. They're entering the market. They come out swinging with even more advanced features than those big established players, but at a comparable price. They're aiming to disrupt the whole game.
Ooh, risky, but potentially genius if they can pull it off.
Mhm.
So where does a company like Tesla fit in? Is it more for more because it's a luxury electric car, or more for less because of all its innovative technology and the potential long-term savings?
That's a fantastic question, and it kind of highlights that these categories, they aren't always set in stone. Tesla, they strategically blend elements of both. They initially targeted that luxury market, but their focus on sustainability and self-driving features, that adds a layer of getting more for your buck in the long run.
Mind blown. Okay, what are the other value proposition flavors we got to know about?
Well, you've got your classics like same for less, which is like your good old, we
Okay.
can do it cheaper, but we're going to maintain the quality.
Right.
Think of like generic brands. They offer similar products to those name brands, but at a lower price point.
Practical and often irresistible, especially for things like over-the-counter medications.
Right.
If it does the same thing, why pay more?
Exactly. And then there's less for much less. And this one caters to, well, budget-conscious consumers who are prioritizing affordability above all else.
Makes sense?
Think discount airlines.
Ready.
Might sacrifice legroom and those little in-flight perks, but hey, you're saving a bundle.
Hey, sometimes you just need to get from point A to point B without, breaking the bank.
Yeah.
And what about that 5th strategy you mentioned?
Ah, yes. The holy grail. More for less.
Okay.
Offering a superior product or service, but at a lower price than your competitors.
Zisky.
It's difficult to sustain for sure, but some companies actually achieve it through like groundbreaking innovation or hyper-efficient operations.
So like if someone invented self-folding laundry, that also irons your clothes, but somehow costs less than a regular washing machine.
Precisely. Now, what's really crucial to remember here is that companies rarely just stick to one of these strategies.
Oh.
They often blend them together, creating these hybrid approaches.
Gotcha.
Take Apple again, for example.
Okay.
They've combined premium quality with user friendliness and, of course, innovative features to create this really unique value proposition that's been rocket fuel for their success.
Yeah, they're like the master chefs of value propositions. They blend those flavors just right. But this whole conversation has got me thinking, it's not just about the moment we hand over our credit card, right?
Right.
There's a whole journey involved.
You're spot on. And that, my friend, is where the value cycle comes in.
Okay.
The Wikipedia article, it mentions this framework by Osterwalder and Pinure, and they break down this whole value proposition into 5 stages.
5 stages.
5 stages. And it spans the entire customer journey.
Whoa, hold on. This value cycle thing, this is blowing my mind.
It's a wild ride.
Okay, break it down for me. What are these 5 stages all about?
Okay, so imagine it as a journey with all these different touch points where a company can create and deliver value.
Okay.
It starts with value creation.
Okay.
And that's all the behind the scenes magic, where companies are developing and producing their offerings.
Right.
This includes their research, sourcing materials, ensuring those operations are efficient. It's basically building that solid foundation.
Because a dazzling marketing campaign won't save you if the product itself is a flop.
Exactly. And then comes value appropriation.
Value appropriation.
And that's all about making that buying experience really smooth and enjoyable.
Got it.
So think easy online checkout processes, clear pricing, multiple payment options, even hassle-free returns.
Oh, I love a good hassle-free return.
Right. You're removing any of those obstacles on the path to purchase.
So it's about building trust and confidence.
Hmm.
Making me feel good about hitting that buy button.
Precisely. Now, right in the heart of this whole cycle is value consumption.
Okay.
This is the actual experience of using the product or service.
This is the moment of truth.
Exactly. Did it live up to the hype? Did those Italian leather boots make you strut with confidence?
It did not, by the way, but go on.
Okay, well, did that budget airline get you to your destination without any in-flight disasters? The proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Oh, the proof is in the pudding.
But the journey doesn't end there. Then we've got value renewal.
Okay.
This is where companies are constantly striving to maintain and increase the value of their offerings over time.
Got it.
Think software updates that add new features,
Okay.
loyalty programs that reward those repeat customers, or even just exceptional customer service that keeps you coming back for more.
It's like that saying, the best marketing is a customer who tells their friend.
Yes.
Companies want to create those raving fans who not only stick around, but they spread the word.
You've got it. And that brings us to our final stage, value transfer.
Okay.
And this is recognizing that, customers often share their positive experiences with others.
Right.
And in doing so, they're amplifying the value they receive.
Word of mouth marketing at its finest.
Exactly. And companies can even encourage this by, setting up referral programs or
Right.
even making their products, inherently shareable. Think about social media platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Their entire business model hinges on users spreading the value.
True. The more we share, the more they grow. This value cycle is brilliant. It's like a circle of value creation. But can we shift gears for a second?
Sure.
We've talked about how companies create value, but what about how they influence how we perceive it?
An excellent point. Companies use all sorts of tactics to try and shape our perception of value.
Yeah?
And understanding those tactics can make us, much savvier consumers.
Let's build the tea. What kind of tactics are we talking about?
Well, let's start with, those pricing strategies.
Oh, okay.
Ever noticed how, some stores will display a higher original price all crossed out right next to a lower sale price?
Oh, absolutely. And it makes you feel like you're getting, a steal, even if that original price wasn't really, an accurate reflection of what the product is actually worth.
Exactly. That's what's called anchoring. They're anchoring your perception of value to that initial higher number, and suddenly that sale price seems irresistible.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Plays on our desire for a good deal. Okay, what else? What else do they use?
Well, branding is huge.
Yeah.
A company might position itself as luxurious or exclusive, and they craft this whole image that makes people think, if I buy this, I've made it.
Right.
Think about designer handbags.
Yeah.
Often you're paying a premium for the brand name and the image that's associated with it, not necessarily for, superior materials or craftsmanship.
It's like they're selling a lifestyle or a feeling, not just a product.
Precisely.
They're tapping into our aspirations.
Right. And let's not forget about those limited time offers or, limited quantities.
Ugh, yes. The dreaded limited time offer.
Scarcity tactics. They're designed to create a sense of urgency and that fear of missing out.
Ugh, yes. Like those flash sales that make me buy things that I didn't even know I needed. It gets me every time.
It's like they're playing on like our deepest psychological triggers.
It really is.
It is. But by understanding these tactics, we become more conscious consumers and we're less likely to be swayed by those, clever marketing schemes.
Knowledge is power. Okay, before we wrap up, we got to address one final, key point from this Wikipedia article, and that is the link between value proposition and innovation.
Ah, yes.
This is where things get interesting, right?
This does get interesting.
Because you might assume that, focusing so much on your current value proposition, it might stifle innovation.
Right. You think this works, don't rock the boat.
Exactly.
But surprisingly, the opposite is often true.
Really?
Yeah, a deep understanding of their value proposition can actually drive companies to innovate in extraordinary ways. It's all about constantly asking, how can we make this even more valuable for our customers? And that relentless pursuit of improvement, that can lead to some real breakthroughs.
So it's not about resting on your laurels. It's about using your value proposition as a springboard for new ideas.
Exactly. And I think the perfect example of this is, once again, Amazon.
Okay, yeah.
They have completely transformed the way we shop and consume, all while staying, laser focused on their core value proposition, convenience.
Amazon Prime is my guilty pleasure.
Right.
2-day shipping. Sign me up. They've made life so much easier. It's unbelievable.
And, and they haven't stopped there. They've branched out into new areas like, grocery delivery,
Right.
entertainment streaming, even cloud computing.
Wow.
Yet that underlying value proposition, convenience, customer obsession, it remains at the heart of everything they do.
It really does. It's kind of inspiring, really. Even if you're not, a behemoth like Amazon, this whole concept is incredibly relevant.
It's fundamental.
It's about clarity and differentiation and knowing what makes, you're offering your skills, your unique perspective, what makes it stand out in a crowded marketplace, right?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
This deep dive has been incredible. Huge thanks to this Wikipedia article. Such a comprehensive overview of this whole concept.
It really is a fundamental concept, and you're right. Its implications go way beyond just, the business world.
They really do. And listeners, we want to hear from you. Think about a recent purchase you made, big or small, doesn't matter. Can you pinpoint the value proposition that swayed your decision? Share your thoughts. Until next time, happy value hunting.